Hi everyone, welcome to SEO Space. You're watching this video because you want to learn how to optimize the images on your Squarespace website to follow SEO best practices. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to optimize the size of your Squarespace images, how to add alt tags, and then also cover why you might be facing difficulties with compressing images on your Squarespace site. So getting straight into it, first of all, I'm going to walk you through how best to optimize and compress the images on your site. So just heading over, I'm going to pick a site on SEOSpace's site. And what I actually recommend is you open the web page on both the Squarespace editor and then also on the live URL. And I'll show you why you should do that in just a second. Now, as long as you have SEOSpace installed, the plugin is going to automatically open both on the editor and then also on the live URL. And as we can see here, the only thing that's left to do in order to get our SEO score up is to optimize our images. And as we can see here, we've got images on this web page that are greater than 250 kilobytes. Now at SEOSpace, we actually recommend your images should be below 250 kilobytes. Squarespace actually recommends 500 kilobytes, which is well above what a lot of SEO experts recommend. A lot of SEO experts actually recommend 100 kilobytes. However, on Squarespace, getting it this low isn't quite possible, which is why we went for a middle ground of 250 kilobytes. Now, by the time you watch this video, we may actually have the feature added where you'll be able to select your preferred size. So if you go to the dashboard and head over to personal profile, you'll be able to actually select of whether you want the recommendation to be 250, which is what we recommend, or 500 kilobytes, which is what Squarespace recommends. And this is just to give you a little bit of flexibility when it comes to image sizing. But as you can see, these are images that we need to compress. So all we need to do is click on this image, and SEOSpace is going to automatically take us to that image that we need to compress. Now, what I actually recommend is doing this from the live URL. And the reason I recommend doing it from the live URL is it just makes it a little bit easier in order to save the image that you're going to need to compress in a second. Now, a cool little feature that I like as well, and another reason why I do it from the live URL, is once you've selected the image, if you actually click on the image, it's going to automatically take you to imagecompressor.com, which is actually the image compression tool that I recommend. And of course, once you've downloaded that image, all you need to do is drop the image in here and compress it below 250 kilobytes. So as you can see, this image is 95 kilobytes. So all I need to do is download it. And then the reason why I have two tabs open, the live URL and then the editor, is because it then makes it really easy to just edit this web page, go into that section, which I need to do here, and then actually re-upload this image. So all I need to do is make sure I find the image in my downloads, rename it. So I always recommend that you name your images. So for example, this is a photo of a call from our Squarespace SEO course. So I'm just calling it Squarespace SEO call with hyphens in the middle to make it easy for Google to understand what this image is about. Then we upload it. And then from there, you'll see once the image is processed, we can press save. And then from there, I'm just going to go back to the live URL, refresh this web page. Of course, you could rescan from the dashboard if you wanted to, but I'm just going to rescan from the live URL. Again, just because I personally find it easier to be here in order to save the images and to quickly compress them from there. So we're just going to rescan this web page to make sure that we've followed this SEO best practice. And this is actually a really good point that I'd like to touch upon because you may be watching this video because SEOSpace might be telling you the wrong image size, or every time you upload an image to Squarespace, it doesn't reflect the size that you compress the image to. So as you can see here, we're just going to go back to images. Now, in this case, it hasn't actually caused a problem, but maybe you're watching this video because you compressed an image to below 250 kilobytes, but SEOSpace is flagging it as larger than that. And the reason why SEOSpace may sometimes flag images as larger than what you actually compressed it to is unfortunately Squarespace sometimes will increase the size of your image after you upload it to Squarespace. And in order to double check to see what is correct, all I want you to do is head over to the image that you think is incorrectly being flagged by SEOSpace and actually download it to your desktop. And then from there, check the size. So for example, you can see the image that I just compressed and re-uploaded is now 216 kilobytes. However, I actually compressed it to 95 kilobytes. And this is Squarespace in action, increasing the size of the image after we've uploaded it, which may be causing you a little bit of frustration, which is why we're not only soon going to be giving you the chance to select whether you want to go for 250 or 500 kilobytes, depending upon your preference. But if you're ever facing a stubborn image that you just can't get below the recommended size, you can actually head over to here, select the image, and then manually resolve it. And this essentially tell SEOSpace to ignore it from the image compression suggestion. So as you can see here, we resolve this image and we will no longer tell you to compress it. So there you are, guys. That is a quick run through of image compression and any images that you might be facing, because people often say to us that SEOSpace is showing a different size than what they compressed an image to or what Squarespace is showing in the gallery. However, to double check this, just download the image to your web page, and as you'll see, 99 times out of 100, SEOSpace is correct. Now, moving on to the last and final thing that I want to walk you through when it comes to images, and that is actually alt text. Now, alt text stands for alternative text, which is essentially a text description that you should give to images for accessibility purposes. Let's say, for example, someone with visual impairment comes to your website. Alt text is super important because they need to be able to understand what the images are if they can't actually see them. So this is important for accessibility, but then also for SEO, because Google wants to see that you're following these accessibility best practices, because us as website owners need to make sure that our website is accessible for people with different challenges that they might have. So for example, coming back to this SEO tasks and selecting pages with images missing alt tags, all we need to do is find a page that has images missing alt tags. In this case, I'm going to go over to the Squarespace editor and I'm going to show you how to find that image that is missing alt text. Once the plugin is loaded and it's loaded the page that I selected, all I need to do is click on this drop down. This is showing me an image I need to compress, as well as also an image that needs alt text. So all I need to do is click on this and it's going to take me down to that image. So I believe this is the image that is missing alt text. And then all I need to do is find that image again. Once I'm in the editor, double click on that image, scroll down to image alt text. And that is where I then need to add a description of what this is showing. So for example, this is me editing the display and timing on a pop-up. Edit display and timing on Squarespace pop-ups. So as I mentioned, you want to describe the image as Squarespace shows here to improve accessibility and SEO. I do always recommend adding your keyword that you want a page to rank for in at least one image alt text. And one little weird thing with Squarespace, when you add alt text, you don't need to save. It just automatically adds it to your live web page. So there you are, guys. That is a complete walkthrough of how to edit and optimize images on your Squarespace website. Of course, if you've got any questions, head over to the chat on SEO Space's dashboard. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.